question. How often should you inquire about your investments? A, once a year, or B, every 30 days? How often should you inquire about your investments?
Just to see how they're doing, just to check in.
Just to double check. All right, audience, up your paddles. I'm seeing lots of B's, a few A's. Stephen, what do you think? You're on the fence?
I would say you probably should do it every 30, was it 30 days?
Every 30 days.
But I'd physically probably do it once a year.
Well, we're doing the should. So the should is...
Should.
Oh.
You should
That's a lot of work to
For
check.
your investments? Well, you know what? Let's
For your future.
Yeah. I like the way you just made it real serious. Like, this is your future, Jessie. So what is the correct answer, Rubina?
So every 30 days. Oh, look at all the bees. I'm really happy to see that. I think I might have given it away a little bit. I mean, I don't mean you have to go into your financial advisor and have a 3-hour coffee and waste time and everyone's busy. Just log on, see how they're doing. Are you happy? If not, make a phone call. You know, really simple stuff. Just like your bank account. You know, we log on and check our bank account, I hope.
All the time before
once
bed.
in a while, right? Usually once a week, I would say you should see how things are going. And do the same with your investments.
I do it before bed. Makes me feel really good. It's like
What?
money.
Really?
I'm rich.
Oh, no, it's more like I'm still broke. Gotta work harder tomorrow.
I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
I know, that's why when you come.
Is it just me? I only ever check my finances, my credit score, when I want to buy something.
Well, I think that's how a lot of people are. And then sometimes they'll check and they'll say, wow, my score ain't as good. Or I don't have as much money in my account. So it's good to
That's
keep on
like
top
waiting
of it.
until you get to the cash register to find out if you have any money on that credit card. You're just like, let's see if this goes through.
Try this card.
Try this card. All right, so let's go to our next question. All right, how does compound interest work? Is it A, the earlier you invest, the better you do? Or is it B, the more you invest, the better you do? Which one is it?
Is it both?
All right.
No both answers.
This audience is very financially smart, and I see a lot of A's.
I'm looking.
I don't even know what compound interest
interest
is.
Okay, so maybe
Me
before we even
neither,
get, okay, so
honey, me neither.
what's the answer, and then we'll fill them in on compound interest.
Okay,
Answer, Rubina.
so the answer is A. The earlier you invest, the more money you are going to make.
Look at our very smart audience.
So compound interest, simply speaking, is money you make on top of the interest that you are earning on your investments. So if you invest $100 and it's earning 6%, after the end of the year, it's going to be $106. The next year, you're earning 6% on the $106. So the thinking is that you can invest a smaller amount of money, and this is for 20-year-olds in the audience, smaller amount of money today. Even if you invested 4 times as much in your 30s or even more so in your 40s, it would still be more if you had invested that smaller amount in the beginning.
Really? That's
So
good
go
to
into
know.
a compound calculator. There's tons online. You just put compound calculator and play with the numbers, and you'll be surprised. You'll be like, if I did 4,000 today or 20,000 10 years, what's going to end up with more money when I'm 65?
Yeah, no, that's good. And if you're not a 20-year-old, but you know a 20-year-old, fill them in on
Yes.
this before they go buying more running shoes and headphones.
Yeah.
It's like this, you gotta put that money away.
We should ask Rubina if spending $12 on Sudoku toilet paper is a good
It's a good investment.
If it makes you feel good,
Oh,
yeah, it's a good investment.
Yeah. You know what? I chalked it up to a treat yourself.
Yes, yes. If it adds value,
yourself.
I believe in that. I believe in that.
All right, so next question. How much money should be in your emergency fund? Is it A, 3 months' salary, B, 3 months' worth of expenses? It's a tricky one. Is it A, 3 months' salary, or B, 3 months' worth of
I'm
expenses?
not following
Audience?
what that guy does. No.
Okay, so you're all wrong.
No.
It should be 3 months worth of expenses because your salary doesn't necessarily mean what you spend every month. So you should know what life costs every month, right? You should know what your mortgage or rent is, what your utility costs are, how much you eat, your entertainment. So come up with that monthly number, multiply it by 3, and then that's your emergency fund. Your salary might be a lot more, so you might not need to aim for that high, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or it might be a lot less, so it means you have to save for a little bit longer to come up with that 3 months worth of expenses.
Wow.
So do you know that if you lose your job, I've got 3 months before I have to really start to worry, or something happens and I've got to go visit them, I've got 3 months that I can deal with this problem in my life.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
That's
All right,
really smart.
so that I know we all learned something. I gave you guys so much props, and then you guys were wrong. All right, so next question. What should you do if you come into unexpected money? Should you A, immediately put it into a high-interest, tax-free savings account, or B, immediately pay off debt like credit card debt? What do you think, audience?
Immediately go on vacation.
That's not up there, but I think that's wrong, honey.
Okay. Okay.
That's not up there. All right, audience, I'm seeing just all B's.
Everyone's
Immediately
saying B.
pay
I'm
off your
listening
debt.
to this guy here.
I'm agreeing with them. You get that money, get rid of that debt, right?
Yeah, so unexpected money should always go towards debt because it is unexpected. It's not money that you had that you need to pay your utilities or any expenses in your life. So use it to better your financial situation. So pay off credit card debt, line of credit debt. These are the really expensive ones. So tackle that.
The high interest rates, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
The
wanna get
highest
rid of all that
interest
stuff.
Yeah, because then you'll be making more money. As soon as you pay that debt, you're making money because you're not making interest payments.
Ah, okay.
See?
Good to know. Good to
Wow.
know.
Not go on vacation.
No, I
And
just
then go on
canceled.
vacation with the money that you saved on interest payments.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's allowed. Okay.
What percentage of your monthly salary should you be spending on housing? Is it A, no more than 42%, or B, up to 32%? Audience, what's your answer? Oh, everybody throws up. They're very
A
confident.
seems
They
very high.
So A was 32%?
Yeah.
Yes.
B was 32%.
So B was the correct answer, 32%. So 32%, and this is what the banks will use as a ratio when you go for a mortgage. So remember this acronym, PITH. Principal, interest, taxes, property taxes, and heating. So they'll take those four things, add them together, and say your gross monthly income should not be more than 32% of your gross monthly income. So you can do that at home, right? You can add those. If you're looking for a house, you know how much the payments will be. You can kind of calculate property taxes and heating and figure out, okay, am I over that 32? But that's just the basics. There's also other utility costs. You've got to eat, you've got to live, you've got to furnish your house.
Yeah.
So that's why the bank keeps it at 32%. And so if you're much higher than that, you're probably looking outside of your price range.
Okay,
Wow,
good to know.
I have some friends who just bought a house, and I think their acronym was PIT because they spent so much on that house.
Yeah.
They can't afford to heat it.
Yeah.
So they never want to go there because
So what do they do?
it's freezing
Do they
cold.
have like a barrel? Would they put some firewood in there and start a fire? How are you
You
doing
come
that?
in and they have slippers and blankets for their guests.
boy.
I
That's
hope
fun.
you're watching.
Right, yeah. They need to talk. They need to talk to Rubina. Is what they need to do. All right. So, what's the first thing you should do when you get paid? My head is like, oh, the mall. No.
Yeah.
Is it A, pay your bills, or B, invest in your retirement fund? What do you think the answer is, audience?
Rubina, is there no fun ever?
No.
Can we not go to the bar?
We're trying to
We're
make you
working
rich.
towards fun.
Yeah.
When we're rich, we'll have
I
fun.
want to have fun when I'm young. I don't even know
right.
which one was which.
All right. So no. A was pay your bills, or B was invest in your retirement fund. Audience, I'm seeing majority are saying
Following him.
A.
Pay your
A. All right.
Okay, so the answer is invest in your retirement fund. So the reason I say this is, so we all forget, when we get paid, we haven't actually paid ourselves. So the company we work for, or if we're self-employed, the money that we get, we have to pay ourselves. We are the most important to our life, right? So you pay yourself your 10% retirement, whatever you're putting into your retirement, or whatever you need to save for your emergency fund, and then you pay your bills. Of course, if your bills are stacking up, that's something that needs to be dealt with. But in a perfect world, you pay yourself first. And then you deal with your bills, and then whatever money you got left, you go to the bar. You go buy a
Go to a
Coke.
restaurant.
You have fun. I actually don't even believe much in budgets. I think once you've done all the work, you've paid yourself, you've paid your bills, you're up to date, spend the rest.
Have fun.
Have fun. There's the fun.
Treat
Like
yourself.
that.
What about it? Yeah.
True,
Okay.
that makes sense.
All right, so this next question is, when should you get a will? Is it A, when you turn 18,
Come on.
or B, when you have assets and or dependents? Audience, what do you think?
B. It's too morbid if you get a will at 18.
I
Isn't
don't
it?
think
What do you
so,
have
no.
at 18?
You have your part-time money from the past few places.
You at 18,
I'm
let
thinking
alone...
maybe B. Yeah.
You guys, okay, audience is saying
switched
majority B, right? That's what everybody's saying?
Okay, so the answer, and I spoke to a family lawyer about this because I wasn't 100% convinced either. 18 is when you should get a will.
Really?
So, and the reason
Why
is that once you're an adult, if you pass away, then an executor will be appointed for you. So it could be that brother that you don't like going through all your stuff and getting, and it's not about dividing your assets. It's about who will take care of your things if you weren't here for any reason. And you want to appoint someone that you love and
But even
trust.
at 18, when you only have like 3 things?
I mean, you don't have to get something too complicated, but you can say that if something was to happen to me, I want this person to be the one that goes into my little apartment and gets everything out of it. I want this person to be the one that goes to the bank and closes the account for me, and whatever money's in there can go to my mom or whatever it is.
My will at 18 would have said, Backstreet Boys collection goes to my BFF.
No, but it was
nothing.
It's not about dividing your assets. It's more about dealing with your life after. And so some people might feel not so good if a person in their family that they didn't get along with was all up in their business, looking at all their things. They might want to be like, I want this friend because I trust that they will do. And now we all have social media accounts, right? So who can you give those passwords to and say, if something happened to me, this is what you do to my Instagram account and my 80,000 followers, and let them, whatever it is that you. And I don't have 80,000.
Cool
Although I
18-year-old.
think that's important because I do have a cousin who's always eyeing my stuff, and I'd have to make sure that she wasn't, because she'd be the first one there.
Or someone who might be nosy about your things. Oh, Andrea, she in university only got a B in this course. Like, you don't want someone not that you got a B.
business in the street. No.
Sorry, but you don't want some. Things are personal, right?
Yeah,
you want the right person's eyes on it.
And
I have
getting a B is the least embarrassing thing in my room at 18.
And I don't have an up-to-date will. This is something that's on my to-do list. So this part of the financial quiz I failed as well.
Okay, well, all right. So our next question is, what is an ETF? Is it A, an electronically transferred funds, or is it B, exchange traded fund? What is an ETF?
I'm out.
Audience?
I'm out.
So I'm seeing majority A. What are you guys saying? Jesse,
going
you're saying A.
A.
Stephen A.
Electronically
And you're going
transferred,
A.
yeah.
Rabina, what is the
So an
answer?
ETF is an exchange-traded fund. Okay, and now everyone's gonna say, what's an exchange-traded fund?
Were we right?
We were wrong.
So it is a
We were wrong, man.
All right.
So everyone knows what mutual funds are, right? Most people understand how a mutual fund works.
Yeah.
So it's a number of different investments inside a basket. So an ETF is a similar type of product that you can invest. You can buy it. It's open on the market. You can buy it. And it has a number of different investments in it. The thing about ETFs is that they often have lower costs. And that's why they're so popular right now. Because people buy ETFs because they have sometimes less than 1%, less than 0.5%. So those, your investment doesn't get eaten up in fees. And that's what an ETF is. And it's something that people should look at as a really good way of investing, rather than mutual funds, which have high fees. And in the end, you don't make as much money.
Well, as usual, we always learn so much from you. I know what a pith is. I have to make a will because I'm way behind because I'm way over 18. And thank you so much for coming.
Only a couple of years.
Only a couple years. Thank you. But yeah, thank you
Hashtag
for coming, Rubina.
ETF. We know that now.
Yeah,
right?
we know
Hashtag
that.
ETF,
Thank you guys
everybody.
for playing along, too. That was fun.
Fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
Are you passionate about living your best life and having a clear mind and a healthy body? Or do you just want to find out what your date actually thinks about you? Subscribe and you'll get all the lifestyle and dating tips you need to live life.